Welcome, hello, Yasu, hi, it's me again, Tai, and today it is overregulations and how the state is fucking up every idea you are creating. So, just to get a little nicer again, I sometimes am asked about why I don't sell my ritualistic arts and my items for ritual works anymore in my shop. Why I even did close it, and there's by good reason. It is not my first business I'm running here in Germany, and I did figure out that there is an overregulation here which is simply fucking up your business as soon you start it. And this is, I don't want to mock about that, but this is the big problem. Lately I got another example here what is really sad, and I want to share this with you. But before I get into this, I will introduce a little because I know there are some people who don't know me yet. So, my name is Tai Kölner. I'm an author, I'm a black magician, I'm a follower of the draconian path. So, I'm working with entities usually and divination systems, meditation, and so on. But in this regard, I also did do arts. So, I did create candles for rituals, so deeply black candles, and I did do special incenses for rituals. I did do crafts for an author, for example, and you were able, or some of you are able, to get stuff from me which you will never find somewhere else. And also you will find things, or you did find things, which were specially created for certain rituals. So my basic was to not to go mainstream. My dedication was not to make a million by selling somebody something. My dedication was to create ritual tools which are worth the ritual, and as I am creating them anyways, I was sharing them in my shop. So back then it was the problem that the majorities were telling me I would not earn enough, and because of not earning enough, they did declare it as a fake business. I did make my business official to be legal if I get some intacts, so if I earn something, that it is legal if I sell it. Because if I would sell now my candles to somebody and I do not pay any taxes and I do not show how much I did earn on that, it would be illegal. So I wanted to do it on a legal way, and in the end it was named as a fake business. My intention was never to make a million. My intention was just to open up and to offer other practitioners to get good materials, good candles, good incenses, great mixes for their rituals, and tools which are really useful and not made in China or mass production. However, they fucked up my business, and I did decide to cancel this, and they can stick their finger where the sun don't shine. So just that's my point. But I'm not angry about, because those who know me now and then get a present of mine, and these are exactly the work I'm sharing as well. Just I do not sell them anymore. I just share it away to those who know me, and in exchange they share something back to me. So what the heck. However, here was a sad thing I got to know, and this is a very good example about how things are going wrong here in Germany by overregulations. There was a beekeeper. This man is about, I think, 80 years old, and he had a meadow with some beehives on it, and he did do beekeeping for about 30 years. Now they did decide that the beehives are standing on a meadow, and so the meadow was declared as an agriculture enterprise. Not the beehives. The meadow where the beehives are standing was declared as an agricultural enterprise. So he has to pay taxes for this meadow as if he would have cows or sheep or whatsoever running around there. And also they did check for the beehives, and they put a pre-tax onto the outcome of the expected amount of honey. So you know, if you got a garden, it is different every year how much honey you can harvest. You know, there is not every year the same amount of flowers, and if there is not the same amount of flowers, there is not the same amount of honey. And also you have to produce this honey and to put it into glasses and to sell it somewhere, and this is not, you cannot calculate it before, because hey, you're not the weatherman, right? So this old man now got a pre-tax to pay every year based on a prognosis of the outcome of the beehives and about the meadow, what is claimed as an agricultural enterprise. So like the meadow is the own business as well. So he did calculate all this through, and now he had to find out that because of this pre-taxes and because of this taxing of the meadow as well, it is a totally non-profit work. The business is an unprofitability to work. And this is something what is really sad in Germany. You do your business and the majorities are putting rules onto you, and this makes it impossible to do your work. It's not about you want to work it for free and pay no taxes. That's not the question. It's about overregulations. It's about overtaxing on small business. And if this small business are not in a frame of a taxing, what is if you got less than 1,000, let's say 18,000 euros a year, I think it's a little more right now, but if you are below that, they also tell you to close the business because it makes no sense. That you can also run your business if you are too low and if they don't accept you of having a business. But in that case, you may not make tax papers in the end of the year to get back an amount of materials you did buy for this business. But you have to pay full taxes for everything you earn. So you pay every material out of your back, and in the end, for every penny you pay your tax. This is no way how a small business is working. And here is a big question. If you are doing a business, this is a sickness today. If you are doing a business, people are like, I run a business, I get my million and I will be a rich one. This is making money, but this is not a business. A business is something you do deeply from your heart, which you're dedicated in, which is your life, and you're doing it. And you're doing it by heart, and you're doing it because you want to do it. And as long you don't pay on it every month, so as long you get at least a little output of this, it is fair to do so, I think. But when it comes to business concepts and to these regulations in our country, you are fucked if you're just doing your business by dedication. If you got a little bit money in your hand but not making a bunch of money, it is okay to do this business if you want to. But no, you're fucked by overregulations. You're fucked by blaming on this is no business just because it's too small. And there I doubt that this is a healthy way of working. And so they are crying around if they tap somebody who is doing his stuff without even doing a business. Then they say that's black money and they are faking the money and they are stealing the taxes because they do not officially name it a business. I don't think so. And I know this is a hard border to tell it openly like that, but if you got a business and it is working, and it is working in a small frame, they should be happy about plenty business working their things. But no, they want to have big businesses where they get much money from. I don't see this country on a good side, but this is another thing. So back to my question, this old man, I'm really sad about that he now did decide to give away his beehives, and he will now not do any beekeeping anymore, so we will not be able to get a fresh honey from this man. We have to find somebody else who is still doing this, but also there, if these regulations will swap over to other beekeepers, they will close their business by time as well. So this is a very loss to our country if this small business are closed. And about my online shop, I do not sell candles anymore openly. I do not sell incenses openly anymore. I prefer to say I got a good friend, he's a great musician, now he brought out a new CD, for example, and I say, okay, let's do a deal. You send me a CD, or if we meet, you give me one of your CDs, and I give you a bunch of incenses. Okay, I have to buy my incenses as well, and I do the creations of these mixtures, and the other one was doing the work about the music and also has the costs of creating the CD. But on the other hand, if I am that honest to tell the majorities that I run a small business, maybe casting out 150 euro a month, they name it not a business. And that's simply wrong. So as long majorities fuck with a little business and crash all the little business, they shall shut up as well, because they did crash it. And if they crash it, there will never be taxes to cash from. And this is their fault and not the fault of the dedicated artist or producer or beekeeper or whatsoever who is doing it with all his hard blood and all his private money to push in and to do what he is loving to do, just because they think it's not enough cash out. So this for my little rage today. So if you want to start a little business in Germany, really think twice, because you don't get much help about. Simple as it is. My opinion, I might be wrong, but this is my opinion. Have a good one and not lose your smile. Bye, see you next time.